What do you reckon out of all your travels, what was the single biggest thing you took back from...
great question.
From going away and seeing what other people had to back to Wales, kind of?
I mean, I saw a lot of things which really impressed me and I thought were great, but I also saw a lot of things which I didn't think were delivered very well. So it's almost like the negative side was as important as the positive side. And I think it's because at that point, everywhere with biking was a secondary thing. So we've got a ski lift, we've got a ski season, we'll do some we'll open up the lift, we'll do some biking. And not many places had like a sole focus on biking.
Right.
So it took time, but like that idea of being able to have something where you solely focus on the product of riding and there's no compromises. Yeah. I think that is the long-term benefit that I got. That was like, ultimately that's what Bikepark Wales is.
Yeah.
And also the lack of provision for trail bikes elsewhere at that time. So yeah, again, seeing like in the UK, we were like ahead of the curve with what had already been done with trail centres, and then just trying to continue on that evolution, like make mountain biking evolve, let the official sites help people's riding evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think I really remember going away and seeing. The reason I ask is because I remember going away and seeing how it was in other countries, and I really was just in a tiny bubble here in the Surrey Hills, for instance. And I feel like back then everyone probably felt like they were in these bubbles. Like I remember watching probably videos of you riding Welsh Dragon series and just thinking, God, the downhill there is so much gnarlier than what we have here. And then you do the same thing again and you go to France and you're like, oh my goodness.
Keeps going.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? It's like weird to think.
I think going to Whistler is, for most mountain bikers, that's a moment it strikes you, doesn't it? It's like, wow, these guys have got such an amazing setup. It's an amazing hill, but like what they've done with it as well.
Yeah.
So I first went there and I think I was like 25 or something. So I just started the trail building company. So yeah, that was quite important, I think, to go to Whistler and see. That's kind of the best example in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Has it evolved loads from then as well? I've never been to Whistler, I'll be honest.
It has, but it was kicking ass then. It's like it has evolved and there's more, but it hasn't evolved at the rate you might think. I think like back then it was already the key stuff you wanted to go and ride was there. Your big jump lines, like they have more of them now, but the stuff that you couldn't get elsewhere.
What was it that struck you the most?
I like the variety, but I've got to say, at that point in time, it was A-line.
Yeah, okay.
Because there was nothing like it anywhere else. Like no one had got a good jump line like that.
So the jump line, like specifically on A-line, what was it about it that was so impressive?
Drop in.
Okay.
No pedal, no brake.
Yeah.
Flow.
So it's like how safe and easy they are, right?
Yeah, yeah. And riding with people who weren't super confident on jumps back home. So like within our group, we'd have a mix of riders. And some of them wouldn't be super confident jumpers, and just watching them ride that trail twice, 3 times, and it's like, bang, it's clicked in already. And just the progression that they get. So yeah, I think have the consistency of all the jumps. Yeah, nothing's like crazy or going to catch you out. Yeah.
So that's sort of trail. Did you feel like you wanted to bring that back to Wales? Definitely,
but we weren't going to get that opportunity. Certainly at that time. I was kind of But yeah, of course, like everyone wants to ride that, I think.
Yeah, I've never ridden it, but anyone who's been to Whistler, have you ridden A-line?
Yeah, but you've ridden A470, right?
Yes, but in the wind.
Okay. In the wind.
Different experience, I feel like.
It's actually true. There's not really wind in Whistler.
Wind and rain.
Wind and rain.
Yeah, sheltered.
Yeah, it was different. But is that kind of the idea, obviously? Is A470 is like a Welsh version of it?
Yeah, it's like a condensed version, I would say.
Okay.
you know, the name is a little bit of a nod to it. So A470 is the dual carriageway that you drive up to get to Bikepark Wales. But yeah, clearly, like with the A, it's a bit of a nod to A-Line in Whistler. And I think it's just a compliment to them, isn't it? You know, everyone around the world really has heard about it, or they've ridden it, and you never hear a bad word said about it. It's a great trail. And I think it's hard to achieve what they've been doing it so much longer. So you don't build a jump line and generally like get it nailed first time. They take development and tweaking and time, and that line's been there for a long time, like 20 plus years.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
You went quite early into its life.
Yeah, but it's still been there a while.
Already established.
Yeah. See, I would have loved to have gone back then, because I only ever saw, I went, and by the time I went to Whistler, I'd seen a lot of bike parks and trail centres and what have you. They'd already come up, but I feel like when you went, it was pretty early on, right? It was like...
Yeah, now I'm saying that, I'm thinking it must be a lot longer than 20 years, because it was 20 years ago I went, and it wasn't a new trail. Like, it had been there a while. Like,
but it was like this thing that people talked about back then. Like A-Line was just like jumps down a hill, and I remember looking at like travel features in Dirt or in MBUK, and them just talking about like, you literally can't believe it. There's 4 minutes or something of jumps and turns. Are you serious? There's 4. Yeah. You're used to like, you'd travel a long way to ride 3 jumps in a row, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
It's just unbelievable to think. Actually, I wish you could go back. And also on the bikes back then, good building would have meant a lot more. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't getting you out of trouble, were they?
Nah. They definitely weren't.
So who were your first, like, some of the bigger clients that you started working with on the company when you launched it? When you started actually bringing in mountain bikers as well?
Okay. Hey, man, what an episode that was. You did amazing in it.
And so did you.
You shone like a star.
You shone like a moon.
Can we also put something up here that you can click on for the next episode?
How about we put a subscribe up there in the middle?
Yeah,
we're going to put a video we think that our lovely companionship will love on your face.
On my face?
Yeah.
And so they can't see me now?
Gone. And on my face, another video that we think people will love. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. You guys are the best.
Peace and love.